Hello, this is Quincy Coleman for the Black Pride Movement here for our 7th and 8th installment. And today we're going to be talking about somewhat blacks in nerd culture or blacks in media culture, such as movies, comic books, superheroes, stuff like that. And this is very important. So I'm not per se an expert on this, so I brought one of my friends to. Hey.
Khalil. I'm from Henry Ford Graphic Novels Club. I'm the vice president. So yeah, let's rock.
Yeah. Why do you think it's important for blacks in nerd culture? Like, because I remember you came up to me, Khalil came up to me and said, "Okay, you're the vice president of the African American Association, and I want to do a thing with your group about blacks in nerd culture, showcasing black superheroes." And why do you feel that's important?
Well, I feel that's important because they're positive role models. A lot of times you have Spider-Man, Captain America, Superman, but where's the black superheroes in that? We have so many of them. It's just they don't have any limelight, and that needs to change.
And he's absolutely right. I thought it was important, and people might say, okay, why is this important for black culture? But it's very important that we understand that media especially plays a huge role in how we view ourselves and how others view us. For example, a young black boy growing up watching Captain America, a white guy would start to associate that white guy with superpowers, or Batman, millionaire, or Superman. But why can't they look up to African Americans as having superpowers, being heroes, and whatnot? And it's very important. I'll give you an example of something that I didn't like. Green Lantern in the Justice League cartoon is black, and when they made the movie, he was white. Now I know it might be a bunch of stuff that might change in the Green Lantern universe, but why couldn't we have a black Green Lantern? Why can't we have black superheroes that are showcased and get media attention like a lot of these white ones do? We got Captain America movies, we got Iron Man movies, we got the Hulk movies, we got all these superhero movies, but where are our black superhero movies? So he can shed a little more light on that.
Yes, there are so many heroes available to us, such as Black Panther. Black Panther is the eighth smartest man in his universe, in the Marvel universe. And he's an Avenger, just like the Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man.
And I didn't even know he was an Avenger until he told me.
Yeah, and there should have been a movie about him.
He should have been in the Avengers movie.
Yes.
He wasn't. I didn't see it. Was he?
No, he was not in the Avengers movie.
I didn't see it.
Understanding where, such as Black Panther. Black Panther works with vibranium, which is a fictional iron material, such as a metal, and it's used in Iron Man's shield. So
Captain America's shield.
Yeah, Captain America's shield, and so to understand, to know about vibranium, we have to go where Black Panther is from, which he's from Wakanda. And, whenever you're building up a mythos, it's important to understand where these materials come from.
And they didn't showcase, and I think that's important too, because if they would have said, okay, where's Captain America's shield from? Because remember, Captain America movie, they said the vibranium or the mythical metal was very rare, but they didn't explain where they got it from Black Panther.
Yeah,
they didn't showcase him when they could showcase Tony Stark's dad about how he did it, but they didn't showcase where he got it from. The black guy.
Right. And unfortunately, it was stolen. They stole the vibranium from the Wakandans. And so...
Or black people.
The black people. And just, understanding, Black Panther could beat up Captain America in a fight. They don't really say that so much, but...
and they don't. But even more so important than the backstories of the heroes, what I brought him here for was to say, we need, as African Americans, everything that is portrayed, even in media, is important. This hat, Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars. There are only 2 black guys in the entire galaxy. Well, 3. I've seen 1. I've seen 3. I've seen Mace Windu, Lando Calrissian, and then the other captain.
Yeah, some type of bodyguard.
3 black guys in the entire galaxy. And that says something. And then Family Guy did a skit where they said, okay, I'm glad there are only 2 black guys in the galaxy because our crime rate would go up, you know. And just, it is funny, but it's not funny because media has a huge role in how, like I said earlier, how we think of ourselves and how others think of us. So, especially in nerd culture, because when you start to see other people who don't look like you become heroes, and people who look like you, not even in the universe, you know, it has an effect on how you view yourself.
Yes.
You know.
You know, our image is very important, and we have to be more involved. I know a lot of times nerd culture is kind of like, oh, I don't like, you know, this or that. But, you know, expression, creativity is very important. Gives us something to look up to as far as, like, our self-esteem or,
Of course.
you know, our image, you know.
And I'll give examples of that. Tony Stark, billionaire, playboy, Audis in the garage, inventing stuff, real smart. Batman, billionaire, owns a company, you know. And we don't really have any black guys who are doing that. Well, we probably do in the superhero realm, but that are portrayed in media or in mass media as we don't have any movies about guys like that. We have movies about these white men who are doing it. We don't have movies about these black guys who are doing it. It was a big story about a couple years back about the Disney princesses, for example, when, you know, Snow White, Jack, all these white princesses. And then they didn't have a black princess until Princess Tiana came out, and it was good, but it could have been done more tastefully. She was Southern, it was kind of crazy, but the girls didn't have a black princess to look up to. So that says something, because if growing up, our kids and our youth, before our kids are able to understand what I'm talking about, what I talk about in most of my videos, such as the social injustices and the Klan, they are introduced to the media. They grew up watching cartoons. Before they even hear about Malcolm and Martin, they grew up watching cartoons. So if you can't see somebody positive in your cartoons from your early stages, whether it be princesses, black superheroes, or black people who are doing something positive, then you don't think it's anybody in real life.
Right.
Because before you're introduced to real life, you're introduced to, I guess you could call fictional life, you know? So it's very important. There's a black astrophysicist in it you want to talk about? Explain him.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. I know I probably butchered his name, but he's an astrophysicist. And
in the cartoon realm?
No, in real life.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Black astrophysicist.
Yes, he's pretty much number one as far as things go. And you know, I want to talk about how he grew up. I remember watching a video, him explaining like life is against us. You know, his teachers would say, "Oh, what sports team do you want to grow up to play in, or you know, what sports team you want to be a part of? You a basketball person?" He was like, "I want to be an astrophysicist," and you know, this would stun the teachers, but you know, we have that look on us, you know, like, oh, he's gonna be this famous basketball player or this football player. You know, that's how they generalize us, and that is not, you know, we are human beings as well, and we need to, you know, understand that there are so many options for us. You know, if you want to be an author, go ahead. If you want to do comics, go ahead.
And you understand the options that you have, not so much based on real life, but based on fictional life. Because growing up, all you see is LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and black football players, and don't know any off the top of my head. You're going to think, oh, this is all I can do. But white people, they don't see that because they grew up seeing white football players, white basketball players, white superheroes, white comedians. They think they can do everything, but as black, we shouldn't limit ourselves to one particular thing. And it starts off, like I said, before you're exposed to anything else, you are exposed to fictional life. Every kid has a cartoon that they love. Give me your favorite cartoon. Let's go over this kid.
My favorite cartoon was probably... oh, this is a tough one.
Just give me one.
Codename Kids Next Door.
Codename Kids Next Door. That was a good one. And we had one black person in that. We did. We had number 5.
Yeah.
She was black. She was cool. But even though she was betrayed, she was a little bit, you know, they kind of made her a little bit, I don't want to say ghetto, but they made her a little bit stereotypically black.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's okay. you know, and they did it very tastefully. It was a good show. I can't think of any other black people in that show.
Well, you have her sister.
Oh yeah, yeah, her family,
Yeah.
her family. But to have the masses of people being white in the Kids Next Door, and not enough black kids that we can look up to, or black. Everybody wanted to be number one.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but number one was white. So subconsciously now you want to be a white. You play around. I'm number one. You know what I'm saying? But we should be like, I want to be number five. I want to be. We should have more black people in fictional life that we can look up to, because that's how it starts. And another thing I'll give you, Naruto. A lot of people like Naruto, and just some of the anime stuff. Are there black people in those?
Yes. Like a guy named Killer B, for example,
Okay.
but he's stereotypical black. And I want to talk about how the other cultures see us as well.
Go ahead.
One thing that bothers me is the lack of understanding that the other cultures have because of how we portray in media. A lot of times in Asian cultures, such as Japan, they have us with the big lips, the big nose, the dark skin, having us, how we talk is like we just rapping to each other. And, I guess that would be kind of cool if we were rapping in our speech, but that's not how we are.
The media has a big influence on how people view you. It has because people ain't never know. There's people in this world that never seen a black person in their life, but they seen the Naruto show and they think, okay, that's how black people are. They're rapping, they got big pink lips, black face. That's how. So it's very important, like he's saying. And I've seen shows like this on. Go watch Adult Swim, late night, and you'll see it. What they think of black people in some of these shows, if there are any black people even in these shows.
Right.
So once again, it's very important. But now I want to take some time before we finish up to show you guys a picture list of all the black superheroes we can think of that we want you to look up. So while you guys were watching the slideshow with the black superheroes and had the names under them and everything, I want you guys to look up those heroes, what they're about, their powers are, and it might just surprise you how many black heroes that we have and what they do and their backstories and everything like that. But while you were watching the slideshow, me and him were talking about something that really touched my heart and his heart. Blacks need to explore every level of our creativity and not just limit it to one sector of film or knowledge or whatever. For example, whenever a new movie comes out, it's got to be, you can always tell a black movie. This Christmas, Medea, just what you mean? It's just some stereotypical black movie. It's the Tyler Perry genre. It's a genre of movie. But we don't have any really black Lord of the Rings, black Star Wars, black mythologies. Even so much. Tyler Perry tried to come up with a movie called Alex Cross, like an action black movie. It's pretty good, but we need more of those. We shouldn't limit ourselves to how many movies we got about drug dealers and Paid in Full and oh my God, I have never seen Love and Basketball, and I will never see Love and Basketball. How many black movies do we have about that? Or Last Friday, House Party,
Yeah, and you can definitely see the quality of the movies, and you like, it's not worth my time.
It's not.
And sometimes they just be so bad to where, we still have jokes about them today. Like, not to say that Precious was a bad movie, but, people will go ham, go crazy over, the jokes about that, like, oh, Precious eat people, or, but it was, it's very dark. We need to have more lighter things, too,
More positive black movies.
Yes.
Instead of just either, because all we got now is drug dealings, comedies. We don't really have a complete genre of movies. And Tyler Perry, bless his heart, or the new thing that's coming out now is slave movies.
Mm-hmm.
We got a bunch of slave movies coming out. And like I said, Tyler Perry, bless his heart, he's trying to, whenever he does his movies, he tries to show these people as young black entrepreneurs. They have really high-paying jobs, but still, that whole comedy thing, he tries to get, it's always a level of seriousness in his movie,
Mm-hmm.
but you can tell he has to kind of balance it out with Medea and seriousness, because he can't just go all serious.
And singing.
And sing. But as blacks, we need to be able to have all different types of movies, such as Lord of the Rings, science fiction, and everything. He was talking to me about how at our school, the nerds. Explain it to us.
Well, at our school, the nerds are kind of ostracized or apart. You know, we live in our own separate bubble, and you know, we're actually very nice people. It's just we're very passionate about what we like.
Nothing wrong with that.
And nothing's wrong with that. You know,
especially from a unified standpoint. As black people, we should never have. It's black, and it's not even so much the whites that shun the nerds. It's the blacks. So they like this, they do that. But he's black. He's a nerd. Excuse me. I mean, you're a nerd.
Yes, I am a huge.
I apologize. You know, it's just whatever. But you're a nerd, and you're black. So we need to focus more on what unites us. We can't shun our brothers. We can't want unity and then shun our brothers because they might like Star Wars a little more than we do, or comic books a little more than we do, because these are the brothers that's going to help us bring us into the future. Because I don't know nothing about astrophysics, but this brother might know something about astrophysics.
I am a computer science major, so I
That
do
whatever.
programming.
There we go, or computer science. Because when the revolution starts, I don't know nothing about programming no computers. I don't know nothing about programming. I'm not even, you know, but you know something about programming computers. So for me to shun you because of what you like, I'm not building a bond that could help us grow as a culture. Because we're going to need computer sciences if we want to separate ourselves from the power structure. We're going to need people who know how to, doctors and nerds who might be nerds, but we're going to need you guys later on. Instead of shunning you and driving you away from blacks and saying, oh, the blacks always made fun of us, and driving you to the arms of whites, or not into the arms of whites necessarily, but away from us. We should unite with each other. So I do sympathize with that. And I call for black unity amongst all peoples, not just if you like one certain thing or like one group of things. Because me, myself, I can hang out with the coolest people. I am. But I always go over there and say hi to him, don't I? I always make sure I keep a good circle of everybody, because we're going to need everybody to get us to the promised land. Not just people who play basketball, you know what I'm saying? Or people who know how to talk to women. We're going to need people who know how to do what you do in the promised land. We're going to need everybody to help us get to where we need to be as a people. So I'm gonna let you close with a statement. And I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, no problem.
And sharing us, culture to us. But I'm going to let you close with the importance of how you do.
I feel very strong about this because years ago, nerds were like nobodies, really. But now, day and age, you know, I could ask you a question like, what's an orc or a goblin? And you'll say it's a green little creature or a big green pig thing. And you would give me an answer. A few years ago, that was not the case. And nerd culture is growing. You know, you have blockbuster games now, like Grand Theft Auto 5 or, you know, Elder Scrolls Online. And
It's a good game.
we need to be a part of that. You know, we are people who, you know, we do a lot for cultures in general. You know, America would not be America if we was not a part of it.
That's true. In a lot of different aspects.
You know, imagine like with that same thing, how we could revolutionize nerd cultures and people's view of ourselves, other than the ghetto ratchet coon kids or the sagging guys. I don't know. I'm sorry.
What he's saying is, and I get what he's saying. I'm gonna finish up for him. What our brother is saying is, we need to be part of the changing world. 30 years ago, wasn't even, if you had a video game system, you were a nerd. Today, most people who aren't even would consider themselves nerds have video game systems. Most people play Assassin's Creed, Grand Theft Auto, and that's nerd culture. We need to understand the changes that are going on around us and be a part of them. Because, like a guy said at the mosque this Sunday when I was there for Easter, he said, if you're not part of the change, then people are going to look at you like you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? You need to be part of the change and not fight the change. Be part of it. Because if you don't adapt and change, you die. We know that in nature.
Mm-hmm.
You die. And as a people, we are dying. And this is part of the change. Getting into this form of change.
Mm-hmm.
So Quincy coming from the Black Pride movement, I'm going to have our brother on to do another part of the series by himself about nerd culture and about why it's important. But just a brief introduction. We want to thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.